They will never teach you this in school, because if they did, the system would collapse. Wealth, real wealth, is not about paper money. It's not about a salary, a job title, or the digits in your bank account. It's about control. Control over your time. Control over your mind. Control over your energy. The truth: most people are not broke because of a lack of money. They're broke because of a lack of power over themselves. They trade their most valuable currency, their time, for someone else's dream. And every day, they repeat the same cycle, hoping that somehow, one day, their lives will magically transform. But wealth doesn't work like that. Wealth is built, piece by piece, in the unseen hours. It is forged in the choices you make when no one is watching. It is born when you finally decide that your life will be dictated by your vision, not your circumstances. I want you to think about the greatest creators and builders in history. Edison, with thousands of failed attempts before lighting the world. Henry Ford, mocked by the newspapers for believing he could mass-produce automobiles. Walt Disney, bankrupt and rejected, told he lacked imagination. Do you know what they all had in common? It wasn't luck. It wasn't a secret investor or a perfect time. It was an obsession, a refusal to accept life as it was handed to them. You see, wealth is not an event. It's a mindset you carry long before you see a single dollar from your dreams. It's the decision to believe in abundance when your pockets are empty. It's waking up early, working when others sleep, learning when others party, and refusing to lower your standards just to feel comfortable. The real truth about wealth: it is attracted to clarity. Money flows to those who know exactly what they want and why they want it. And yet, most people live like ships without a compass, drifting, reacting, surviving, instead of steering. They wait for permission, for approval, for a sign that it's safe to start. But history remembers the few who didn't wait. The few who acted with such belief, such relentless execution, that reality had no choice but to bend. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your life 10 years from now. Not the life you think you can get, but the life you would have if you had no limits. What would you wake up to? Who would be around you? How would you spend your day? Hold that picture. Feel it in your bones. That vision is your target. And every day you live without moving toward it is a day you're stealing from your future self. Wealth requires discipline. Not the kind you use for a week after reading a self-help book, but the kind that becomes your identity. The discipline to say no to short-term comfort so you can say yes to long-term freedom. The discipline to protect your mind from gossip, negativity, and the opinions of people who have already quit on their own dreams. I will tell you the secret that the wealthy already know: you are always programming your future. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you are becoming. If you choose laziness, you are voting for poverty. If you choose learning, you are voting for expansion. If you choose courage, you are voting for abundance. The world will tell you to be realistic. They will tell you to aim smaller, to just be grateful for what you have. But gratitude without growth is stagnation. You can be grateful for the breath in your lungs and still be hungry to climb higher. That's the balance the wealthy master: deep gratitude for the present, and an unshakable hunger for the future. Never forget, your environment is shaping your destiny more than your intentions are. If you surround yourself with people who settle, you will eventually settle. If you keep listening to voices that doubt you, you will start doubting yourself. But place yourself in the rooms where dreams are normal, where big thinking is the default, and you will feel your standards rise like the tide. The truth about wealth nobody told you is that it's an inside-out game. You don't chase money, you become the kind of person money chases. You become so valuable, so disciplined, so magnetic in your vision and energy, that opportunities can't help but find you. And it begins the moment you stop blaming the economy, your parents, your past, and start owning the only thing you can control: yourself. The first battle you must win is not with the marketplace. It's not with competition. It's not with the economy, or inflation, or politics. It's with the voice in your head that whispers, "Who are you to think you can do this?" That voice is the gatekeeper of mediocrity. It has killed more dreams than bankruptcy, more visions than failure, more potential than any external circumstance. And here's the twist: that voice never truly goes away. Even the greats hear it. Edison heard it, Disney heard it, Steve Jobs heard it. The difference: they didn't negotiate with it, they acted anyway. Because wealth in every sense of the word demands that you act before you feel ready. It demands courage in the face of doubt. Most people wait until they feel confident before they move, but confidence is not the cause of action. It is the effect of action. Think about a blacksmith forging steel. The fire comes first, the hammer strikes again, and only then does the steel take shape. Your confidence works the same way. The fire is your vision, the hammer is your action, and the steel, that's your destiny, forged by repetition. But here's the problem: we live in a world of shortcuts. Instant gratification has poisoned ambition. People want the trophy without the race, the harvest without the planting, the wealth without the years of obscurity. No one talks about the years when nobody believes in you, the nights when you work alone in silence, not knowing if it will ever pay off, the days you question everything, when your dreams feel like a distant joke. Those are the years that shape you. They are the reason your success will mean something when it comes. Wealth is not built in the spotlight, it is built in the shadows. And if you can't stay disciplined in the dark, you will crumble in the light. You must become the kind of person who does not need applause to keep going, who does not need permission to start, who does not need reassurance every time the road gets hard. The wealthy understand this. Results are inevitable when your commitment is non-negotiable. When you decide that quitting is not on the table, you free yourself from the constant, draining question of should I keep going. You just keep going. Let me tell you something powerful: your future is not built in years. It is built in moments. Moments when you choose to keep running after the world says stop. Moments when you choose to invest your last dollar into your dream instead of into your comfort. Moments when you choose growth over entertainment. And every one of those moments compounds. Like drops of water carving stone, they seem insignificant at first, but over time, they reshape the entire landscape of your life. The truth about wealth that no one told you is this: it doesn't show up suddenly. It shows up quietly. In the way your mind sharpens. In the way your standards rise. In the way people begin to see you differently, because you've become different. It is not the market that will decide your fate, it is your habits. The market will go up and down. Technology will change. Industries will rise and fall. But if you are adaptable, if you are a relentless learner, if you understand the art of reinvention, you will thrive in any environment. Look at Andrew Carnegie. The man started with nothing, no money, no connections, working in a cotton factory for pennies. But he had one asset most people never develop: the mindset of growth. He became obsessed with learning from the best, surrounding himself with mentors, and finding leverage where others saw limitations. That obsession turned him into one of the wealthiest men in history. And here's the part no one likes to hear: he gave away more money than most people will ever earn, because wealth to him wasn't the money, it was the freedom to impact lives. You must decide right now what wealth means to you. If it's just a number in a bank account, you will never feel full. But if it's freedom, if it's mastery, if it's the ability to live on your own terms and lift others as you climb, then you will chase it with a fire that no setback can extinguish. But hear me, you will be tested. There will be seasons where nothing works. Times when the people closest to you doubt you. Days where you wonder if maybe they were right, maybe you were foolish to think you could pull this off. That's the moment the majority quit. But that's also the moment the minority, the builders, the dreamers, the future wealthy double down. Because in that moment, you're not just building your business, your career, or your bank account, you're building you. Understand this: the person you are right now is not the person who will hold the wealth you desire. That version of you is still under construction. And the construction process is messy. It's loud. It's uncomfortable. But it's necessary. If you want to hold more, you must become more. Most people think wealth is something you pursue. In truth, it's something you attract by the person you become. If you remain the same habits, same beliefs, same fears, you will keep attracting the same results. Your bank account is a reflection of your inner world, nothing more, nothing less. Think of the mind as soil. If the soil is toxic, filled with weeds of doubt, entitlement, laziness, then no seed of wealth can grow. But if the soil is rich with discipline, vision, and relentless learning, then even the smallest idea can grow into an empire. The challenge: most people spend more time feeding weeds than nurturing seeds. They consume negativity, argue over things they can't control, and waste their sharpest hours on distractions that will never pay them back. The wealthy don't do this. They protect their time like a fortress. They treat their focus like oxygen. They say no more often than they say yes, not because they are arrogant, but because they understand that every yes to something meaningless is a no to something essential. This is why discipline is not punishment, it's freedom in disguise. The more disciplined you are, the freer you become. Free from the chains of impulse. Free from the tyranny of procrastination. Free from the endless cycle of almost starting but never finishing. And here's something you won't hear in most motivational speeches: wealth will demand sacrifice. You cannot have it all, at least not all at once. You will give up weekends, comfort, maybe even certain relationships. But you will gain something far more valuable: the ability to shape your life with intention instead of by default. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you are building a future most people will never experience. Every time you choose to study when others sleep, to invest when others spend, to persist when others quit, you are separating yourself from the masses. Look back at history. Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than most politicians ever enter. He faced personal tragedy, public humiliation, and repeated defeat. And yet, he became one of the most influential leaders in history, not because he never failed, but because he refused to stay down. The wealthy understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it's the tuition you pay for mastery. Every setback is data. Every mistake is a lesson disguised as pain. The only real loss is quitting before the lesson is learned. This is why you must develop resilience like steel. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, it's about bending without breaking. It's about standing in the storm with your eyes locked on the horizon, knowing the sun will rise again. And here's the ultimate truth nobody told you about wealth: it's not about the money, it's about the person you become in pursuit of it. Because when you finally have the money, you will realize something shocking: the joy didn't come from the number in your account. It came from the discipline you built, the fears you conquered, the skills you mastered, the person you had to grow into just to hold it. Money is a magnifier. If you are generous, it will make you more generous. If you are careless, it will make you more careless. Wealth doesn't change you, it reveals you. That's why the preparation is more important than the prize. You cannot skip the process and expect to keep the result. This is why lottery winners lose it all, and self-made entrepreneurs multiply it. Without the mindset, the vision, the discipline, wealth slips through your fingers like water. So I ask you, are you building the version of yourself who can keep what you're asking for, or are you still hoping the result will come first and the growth will come later? The wealthy never wait for later. They become the person now. They think like the person now. They move like the person now. And in time, the world catches up to match who they already decided to be. There is a dangerous myth that keeps millions trapped in mediocrity: once I have the money, then I'll change. No. You change first, and then the money comes. Wealth is like a mirror, it reflects the person standing in front of it. If you stand there with fear, scarcity, and confusion, the reflection will show struggle and lack. But if you stand there with clarity, courage, and focus, the reflection changes. The outer world always follows the inner world. Think of it like a thermostat. If your internal setting is stuck at average, it doesn't matter if you suddenly earn more, you'll find a way to bring yourself back down to that familiar temperature. That's why people sabotage their own success. Their identity isn't set to handle it. The wealthy reprogram their thermostat, they raise their standards. And when life tries to drag them back to normal, they refuse to settle. This is where vision becomes your lifeline. Without a vision so strong it pulls you forward, you will be distracted by every shiny thing in your path. You'll chase trends, hop between ideas, and wonder why nothing sticks. Vision is not just a picture in your mind, it's an anchor in chaos. It tells you, this is who I am becoming, and this is where I am going, no matter what the world throws at me. But vision without action is just a daydream, and action without discipline is just noise. The wealthy bring all three: vision, discipline, and relentless execution. They don't wait for the perfect time because they know the perfect time is an illusion. If Carnegie waited for the economy to be stable, he would have died in obscurity. If Edison waited until the light bulb idea was safe, the world might still be in darkness. What's stopping you is not lack of opportunity. It's the belief that you need more before you can start. You tell yourself, I'll begin when I have the capital, when I have the time, when I have the right contacts. But every master you admire began with less than what you have now. You don't need more resources, you need more resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is the art of doing what you can, with what you have, right now. It's using every ounce of creativity, every contact, every spare minute to move 1 inch closer to your vision. It's refusing to let circumstances dictate your destiny. And here's the truth: resourcefulness is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The wealthy train this muscle until it's second nature. They don't ask, can I do this? They ask, how can I make this work? That single shift in thinking turns obstacles into opportunities. It transforms walls into doors. It's the reason two people can face the same setback, one quits, and the other builds an empire from the rubble. But let me warn you, when you begin to think and act like this, you will stand out, and when you stand out, you will be judged. People will call you obsessed, unrealistic, even selfish. They will project their fears onto you, because your courage exposes their complacency. Do not shrink to make them comfortable. History has never remembered the people who played small. It remembers those who dared to be misunderstood in their pursuit of something greater. There is a loneliness to building wealth, not because the journey is empty, but because few are willing to walk it. You will outgrow people. You will outgrow conversations. You will outgrow versions of yourself. This is the price of transformation. But the reward, the day you wake up and realize you are no longer surviving life, you are creating it. The day you have the freedom to work because you want to, not because you have to. The day you can lift others without sinking yourself. That's when you'll understand wealth was never the end goal. It was the tool to build the life you were meant to live. The life you want is already out there, waiting for you. It's not hiding, it's not playing hard to get, it's simply reserved for the person you are becoming. The question is not will it happen, the real question is will you become the person who can hold it. Every day is an audition for the role you want in life. If you want to be wealthy, you audition by making wealthy choices. If you want freedom, you audition by refusing to be a prisoner to excuses. If you want abundance, you audition by thinking and acting in abundance now before a single extra dollar arrives. The people who make it, they don't wait for proof before believing. They believe, and that belief becomes the proof. Understand, this belief is not a fluffy, feel-good word. It's a strategy. When you truly believe in a vision, you stop negotiating with your limitations. You start finding ways where there were none. You start moving as if the outcome is inevitable, and when you do that long enough, the world begins to believe it too. Look back at the great builders. Rockefeller didn't he just believe in oil, he believed in building an empire so organized, so disciplined, that it could weather storms for decades. Steve Jobs didn't he just believe in computers, he believed in changing the way humans interact with technology forever. That level of belief attracts the people, the resources, and the opportunities needed to make it real. And here's the thing, most people are already experts at belief, but they use it against themselves. They believe they're unlucky. They believe they're not good enough. They believe it's too late. And because belief shapes behavior, they move in ways that make those lies come true. You must break that pattern. Belief without discipline is fantasy. Discipline without belief is drudgery. But belief and discipline together, that's a superpower. That's when you start bending reality. And yes, this will be uncomfortable. You will feel resistance. You will feel fear. But fear is not your enemy, it's the compass pointing to where growth lives. The wealthy don't avoid fear, they move through it. You've been taught to run from discomfort, but discomfort is the forge. It's the heat that melts away your excuses, the weight that builds your strength. The longer you hide from it, the longer you delay your wealth. And let's get real, you're not in a fight with your circumstances. You're in a fight with your comfort zone. That's the invisible cage keeping you where you are. Every time you choose safety over growth, the bars get stronger. Every time you choose growth over safety, the bars weaken, until one day, they fall. But there's one more truth you need to understand: wealth without gratitude is poverty in disguise. If you cannot appreciate what you have now, you will find a way to feel empty no matter how much you gain. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It keeps you from becoming the person who chases endlessly and never feels the joy of arrival. The wealthy are not just builders of assets, they are collectors of moments. They understand that true wealth is a blend of freedom, impact, and fulfillment. Without that, the numbers mean nothing. So here's the path: believe like it's already yours, act like it's already yours, discipline yourself like you've already been trusted with it, and stay humble enough to be grateful for the smallest wins along the way. Because the truth about wealth that nobody told you is this: it's not a finish line, it's a lifestyle, a way of thinking, a way of showing up for yourself and for the world, every single day. There will come a day sooner than you think when you will look back on this very moment and realize it was the turning point. The day you stopped waiting. The day you stopped blaming. The day you took your own life into your own hands and refused to let go. Because here's the unspoken truth: no one is coming to save you. Not the government. Not your boss. Not a miracle lottery ticket. Your rescue mission is your responsibility. And the most liberating moment of your life will be when you finally accept that truth, because when you do, you'll stop waiting for the world to hand you a seat at the table and start building your own table. The wealthy think like architects. They design, they measure, they visualize the finished structure before a single brick is laid. They know exactly what they're building before they pick up a single tool. And when they begin, they commit until the vision stands complete. That's how you must approach your life. Stop patching holes in a sinking ship and start building the vessel that will take you across oceans. Stop rearranging furniture in a house you don't want to live in and start constructing the home you dream of. You have been given something priceless, a mind capable of creating new realities. But most people use it to replay old problems. They live in the loop of what is instead of the vision of what could be. The wealthy reverse that. They wake up and see the day as clay in their hands, something to be shaped, molded, and crafted toward a future they've already decided will exist. And yes, there will be storms. There will be days you feel like you've been knocked to your knees. But here's the thing about storms, they don't last forever. And if you learn to move through them instead of hide from them, they will make you stronger, sharper, more unshakable than you ever imagined. The wealthy are storm walkers. While others wait for the rain to stop, they keep building in the rain. Because they know that while the masses are hiding, the few who work through the storm will own the field when the sun comes back. Do not confuse temporary pain with permanent defeat. Pain is part of the process. It's the tax you pay for progress. Every setback you face is shaping you into someone who can carry more, handle more, and be more. And that's the final truth about wealth. No one told you you don't get it because you want it. You get it because you earn it. Not just in money, but in mindset, in mastery, in character. When you become the kind of person who refuses to be broken, who shows up every day with vision in their heart and discipline in their actions, wealth has no choice but to find you. But let me be very clear, this journey will ask everything of you. It will strip away your excuses, your comfort, your old identity. You will outgrow friends. You will be misunderstood. You will walk into rooms where no one believes in you yet, and in those moments, you will have to believe enough for all of them combined. Because wealth is not for the faint of heart, it is for the committed, for the ones who can look at the mountain and say, I will climb it, even if it takes me my whole life. So stand up, decide, draw the line between who you've been and who you're becoming. Choose the vision over the excuse, the discipline over the distraction, the courage over the comfort. And when the voice of doubt whispers, what if you fail? You answer, then I will rise again, and again, until I win. This is your life. This is your time. You were not born to simply pay bills and die. You were born to create, to grow, to lead, to impact. You were born to walk into the fullness of your potential and claim the wealth in every form that is already waiting for you. And when you arrive, when you can finally breathe the air of freedom, when you can give without fear, when you can wake up every day knowing you're living the life you built, you will smile, because you'll know the truth. Wealth was never about the money. It was about becoming the person who could create it, keep it, and multiply it, and in doing so, change the world. So go, build, rise, and never look back.